Keila Santos and I am from Brazil. I live in the United States for 17 years now. I've been working in the cannabis industry for 12 or 13 years, going to 13 years. I've started back in California where the laws were very much different than what the industry became today. Back then, for example, we could only be co-ops and we could only grow 99 plants for operation. It was very limited what can be done. There was a lot of prohibition and harassment still going on. I was arrested in, like I spoke in the event in one of these occasions. I had to go to a 3-year court case and probations, but I still worked every single day in the cannabis industry, even though the judge told me not to. Then we created a CBD project inside of our dispensary that became Revivid, which I'm one of the founders in the US. On the following year, I founded Revivid Brasil, which is a company 100% Brazilian, that my commitment is totally with more like social projects, with the planet. For example, how can I use waste from all of these plants that we have? We have hundreds of acres that we have grew, and we'll put them back in the soil, but still there's so much more that could be done. So I've been trying to work this for like 2 or 3 years. It's very difficult to do it alone. I never expected that it would be so difficult to do it, but God has a purpose for all of us, and I've been literally crying in my prayers so that I could meet the right people to do these projects with. And it's happening in my own country, in Brazil, which to me it's no coincidence. And Brazil is doing a great job. The Green Hub is changing my life. Patricia Marino is literally changing my life. I think about her every single day, just how amazing. And this is God showing me his answers, just throwing me into the path and the journey that I need to go. And then I met Patrick, which their project is also so meaningful, so important, so necessary, that needs to be done in Brazil. And it's just very similar to what Green Hub or Manitas, Patricia has been doing. So I found that I have reborn after this pandemic. I found all the purpose. I got really close to give up at one point, and it was a very hard moment for me in the industry because I love this so much with all my heart. But now I know for a fact that this is what I'm going to do forever, and all the possibilities and all the opportunities, because I want to give justice for people that are suffering, for people that are still in prison, because politicians haven't changed the laws that they made it to put these people in prison, like the war on drugs. There are way too many people of color in prison as a result of marijuana. And then when medical marijuana became a business essential, that bothers me. It's unreal that nobody's changing. They're still not changing this. And to see an industry that's so big and 80 or 90% of the people are only in it to capitalize for themselves and not care about the earth, the climate change, others, the less fortunate, the people that are in prison, that needs to change. And we're gonna change this. And people like Patrick with his project to take this internationally to the United Nations. So this is new beginnings, and it's like my heart's beating fast right now again, because I can already feel it, how amazing and how beautiful this is gonna be. Thank you, and thanks for having me. So this event has to be all over the world. Cannabis thinking has to be done not only in Brazil, not only in São Paulo, not only a day. We have to do this. We have to take this to the US and make people feel uncomfortable, because it's from when you feel uncomfortable that change comes. I felt uncomfortable a lot of times, and I knew that that is something I needed to change. And I still have a lot to learn, a lot to change. But this event has to be global. And I think that is what Patrick can help us do. And that's why I was begging him to come to Brazil, so he could see, so he could feel it. And I know he is feeling today. So thank you. And thank you.
Thanks, Keila. Yeah, I'm Patrick Mccartan, CEO of Regennabis. We are a 2-year-old company. We help companies think about ESG, sustainability, embedding those into the core of the business and embedding purpose into the core of the business so they can become the next leading sustainable brands of the future. This event has been absolutely unbelievable. Cannabis thinking is, I'm not sure that many people are aware of this outside Brazil, but the energy, all the various different walks of life that are coming here to talk about cannabis, medical cannabis, hemp, all the impact on economies and societies, on the environment. It's absolutely incredible. I've been blown away by the passion and the purpose of the people that have come here today. So it's a great honour for me to be here, and I will come to every single event in the future. And as Keila said, we hope we can bring this type of passion and purpose to all over the world, because this is what cannabis is all about. And what we're trying to do is really to help the industry collectively and outside the industry to align to the impact that it can create when we regulate and legalize cannabis in all of its forms, not just medical and hemp, but recreational. Having really taken a deep dive into cannabis over the last few years and working in the corporate sustainability world with some of the biggest companies in the world, I can see that there's a huge potential there for transformative change once we start to shift from destructive plastics and cutting down forests and everything that's been damaging the world, to shift into more sustainable, regenerative ways of doing business. When we think about the big picture, we think about the vision for the future, and we align to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or 17 sustainable goals that focus on every aspect of building a more beautiful world. And we know that cannabis, from an economic, social and environmental perspective, can deliver to all of those 17 goals. And that's what I've been speaking about today, and several others have been speaking about. And it also helps with the education and the awareness around what this really is. It helps to remove the stigma and the old style thinking and shifting towards a much more purpose-driven, open conversation and open-mindedness. So I've been honoured to be here today with Keila and all of the rest of the Cannabis Thinking team and the community here in Brazil. I think Brazil is probably the biggest country to watch. It's like the sleeping giant that's building the grassroots and building the foundations of an incredible industry. And it's my honour to be here today at Cannabis Thinking.